Maybe you're here because you couldn't get a hold of a Taylor Swift ticket, or maybe you're here because you're wondering, will I ever be able to afford a live show again? I'm here with the answers, and maybe together we can mold our frustration into a better understanding of the whole thing. For anyone who needs to get up to speed in like 10 seconds or less, here you go. Taylor Swift, new album, big tour, lots of people want to go. Ticketmaster's like, yeah, we can handle that demand, work with us. And that was a lie. Ticket prices in the tens of thousands, bots and scammers everywhere, Ticketmaster crash, everyone's upset, including me, and I'm not even a Swiftie, so where do we go from here? Let's start with why the prices are so high. With Ticketmaster and others, these generally higher prices you're seeing for bigger artists like Taylor happen because of an algorithmic approach to pricing called dynamic pricing. This translates to, if we see a lot of people want these tickets and they're actually paying higher prices for them, then we're gonna raise the price of all the tickets because we were wrong about the initial value. It's higher. Essentially supply and demand. The problem with huge artists with huge fan bases like Taylor, Harry Styles, Bad Bunny, is that there are huge portions of their fan base that are willing to spend a lot more money on the tickets. And so they're the ones that not only end up getting the tickets, but increasing the value for future buyers in this whole dynamic pricing scheme. Now, economists will tell you, hey, this is totally fine. If a ticket's priced at $100, $200, $500 because of the demand, then that's what it's worth. It's a free market. But that, in my humble opinion, is a huge crock of shit. Sure, I get it. Live shows mean different things to different people, and some people are willing to pay more. But that does not inherently justify its value as a commodity to the masses through the cracked lens that is Ticketmaster. And while it is technically up to the artist to enable dynamic pricing for a tour, I doubt it's being presented in a very fair and honest way. It's unfortunately become such standard practice with big names that people are just going along with it now. But wait, hold on, because dynamic pricing is not the only thing driving up the price of tickets. Ticketmaster collects fees on top of every ticket sale and on top of every resale. And if fees are percentage based, which to my understanding they are, but Ticketmaster makes damn sure to make that whole process very opaque on their website, it's in Ticketmaster's best interest to lean into this free market approach and let prices run wild. So on top of dynamic pricing driving up price, you have people coding up bots to buy tickets in bulk and resell them for egregious prices, higher than dynamic pricing would ever go. And if Ticketmaster gets a 10% fee on a $10,000 ticket sale, well, that's pretty f***ing sick for them, isn't it? And surely they don't have a history of greedily pocketing ticket fee. Oh, wait, they do. Well, surely they didn't also get in trouble for sneakily adding in those fees with every step of the transaction process. Oh, wait, they did. Now, Ticketmaster claims they're fighting so many bots, but make sure to include these stats on their website that say, hey, almost half of ticketing traffic is bots, guys, and in the US, 2/3 of that traffic is malicious, so, you know, we're trying our best out here. And I got some news for you. They're not. They are not trying their best at all. It happens every single sale, and the bots are so much better than them. And while economists say blame fans for increasing demand and encouraging dynamic pricing and scalpers, some people say to blame the artist. And this one's kind of easy to do, right? I get it, because aside from dynamic pricing, you can just say, well, she just shouldn't work with Ticketmaster anymore. Just ditch them already. But the sad truth lies in the fact that Ticketmaster and Live Nation are one entity, a merger that quite frankly should have never been approved by the Department of Justice. The terms of the approval basically hinged on this one condition where they said, you know, we'll allow it as long as you guys don't threaten venues with losing access to your tours if they don't use you. And they got caught doing exactly that. As a result, Live Nation basically has a chokehold on live music. They own and operate a ton of venues, and more importantly have long-term contracts with the rest of them to ensure they use Ticketmaster. If you want a successful US tour across every major city, you're kinda stuck striking a deal with Live Nation. And to boot, every other ticketing service that's popped up in the last decade to try and get a piece of the pie has basically died out. Because in the end, the pie was never up for grabs. It was a monopoly. Full stop. No competition. Now look, I think there is a world in which artists could unite and use alternative ticketing services, but it would need to be like a massive collective uprising. And ultimately, it would probably result in fans not getting to see their favorite artist because they're not playing in a venue that's accessible to them. So while I'd say you have a right to be upset with your favorite artist, at least a little bit, they're not really the root reason things are the way they are. Look, at the end of the day, Ticketmaster's set up not only to encourage behavior like price hikes via dynamic pricing and crazy resellers, but to also be able to quickly deflect blame in any direction possible. Like, most of what I'm saying right now can be rebutted with a simple, this is just how things are, man, get over it, get your bread up. But let me hit you with this. I would be willing to bet a good deal of what I have on the fact that live music is probably the most important factor in creating more amazing artists in the future. If your musical heroes today couldn't see their musical heroes when they were kids because they had to skip a rent payment to do it, they probably wouldn't exist. You hear so many stories of like, oh, I went to go see this person and they inspired me to do music. Like, that doesn't happen anymore when tickets are $10,000. And not to mention the biggest underscore to the conversation here, the fans. Do you think think artists just want to play to a room full of the richest people on earth? I mean, sure, maybe some of them do, but I think most of them would rather touch the life of a really dedicated fan, no matter their net worth. And while maybe this conversation seems political, it really doesn't have to be. It all comes down to this: live music is not a luxury, it's an intimate human experience. And unfortunately, there are players in this game that are leveraging just how much that experience means to you. It sucks, I know, but government action seems to finally be in motion, and all I can tell you to do is hang in there, go and see smaller artists that you can afford to see, urge your favorite artists to get educated about how their tours work, and specifically choose options that make buying fair to all fans, and hopefully there will be some progress on this. If you like this video, check out this one that's kind of meta too, on if society would ever allow there to be another Beatles.